We actually heard a guy say the other day, if I knew how long I was going to live, I would have taken better care of myself.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
remember
Yeah.
hearing that?
Yeah. 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 I did.
And
I did.
I was like, man, like you don't get a do-over. Like
Yeah.
and I thought about that. I mean, I'll tell you, I struggle sometimes with my own eating habits. I mean, I do.
Mhm.
Sometimes I'm like, man, which it's hard today's day and age. Real that was like, don't eat chicken that was chilled something. I don't know because it has chlorine in it. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm just
Yeah.
gonna fast for the
Yeah.
rest of my life.
I know. Just give me supplements and not even water. It's like,
But
okay, what kind of what
yeah.
kind of water do you have, right?
But that
Anyway.
activity, like being, that's one thing I'm focusing on is, it's like I feel like there's only so much I can do with the food. I'm getting overwhelmed with all the do's and don'ts. So I'm going to do my best, but really being
Baby
active.
steps.
I mean, you guys, muscle solves a lot of problems.
Mhm.
And building that muscle as it is your metabolism source. It is what
Mhm.
is going to protect your body against some, like, I don't think, which we're not going to go into a science lesson, but your muscle does so much to even help your blood, right? Like, and all the junk that might come into your body, your muscle can actually help clear that out. But anyway, so
Mhm.
it's important to be strong and to think about our physical health, right?
Yeah.
Deuteronomy,
Yeah.
Moses, he was 120 years old when he died.
Mhm.
And the Bible says, yet his eyes were not weak, nor his strength gone.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
good health is going to help us run the race longer,
Yeah.
right? And I think I talked about this last week, but I watched a lady 100 years old doing planks, and just like your muscle also helps your cognitive health too.
Mhm.
They're starting to see in studies a direct correlation being physically fit and having your mind. And think about like
Well,
taking this. Go ahead.
no, I was just to say your muscles. I mean, that's another organ system in your body. I mean,
Mhm.
it's not just so I can lift stuff and walk and things like that. It actually
Right.
does a lot more, which it sounds like you're leading into. And because of that, it helps a lot of other systems in your body
Yep.
have longevity,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, it's
Not
our
only that,
longevity
it's
superpower.
yeah, yeah, and it also helps you get through, with less pain later in life and things like that. But that's why it's, just like financial resources that God has given you, and it's also the physical resources, which is your body that you're
Mhm.
inhabiting, right? And making sure you take care of it and things like that. But creating that long term rhythm that supports, health, and it doesn't have to be, you don't have to be Arnold Schwarzenegger by any means,
Right.
but something that's moving your body, creating that strength, flexibility, and that mental clarity you were talking about, is really going to help you go longer. And a lot of people, well, Moses, 120 people don't live that long anymore. Well, the question, ask why, number one. Two, it's not that they don't live that long, it's not quite as long. My grandmother, for example, passed away at 103.
Mhm.
That's only 17 years younger. I mean, yeah, the 17 years is
Yep.
17 years, but still, it's not like, we're passing away at 70 now. But some people do, some people younger, or whatever, because of accidents or whatnot. But again, you have to ask yourself, what am I doing to keep my body in shape so I can
Mhm.
enjoy my later years when I am free of financial bondage? And that's a big part of it.
Mhm.
The worst thing would be able to do the financial part, get there, and then you just can't
Right.
physically do it anymore. I mean, we
Yep.
had a family in for graduation. My daughter graduated from University of Tennessee, Chattanooga. Congratulations! Show her a little love. I'll put her Instagram on in the link. But it's one of those things that we had some family that were there and no big deal. Some family, couldn't go to certain events because they just couldn't get around and things like that. The older old family members, but it's something that you want to take care of it. I mean, it's the one
Mhm.
body you're given, and just making sure you're eating right and doing what you can. Like you said, sometimes it feels a little overwhelming with everything that's going on now. I think there's a big great awakening. But baby steps, just point yourself in the right direction and keep going that way, right? One step at a time. It doesn't have
Mhm.
to be solve everything overnight. So don't get frustrated with it. But again, that's going to lead into that. What's next? What's that next chapter? Going back to what I said earlier about leaving your mark, leaving that legacy that outlives you, right? That should be the
Mhm.
objective. Proverbs 13:22, a good person leaves an inheritance for their children's children. I taught on that this weekend. And it's one of those things that some people I've talked to in the financial side, well, I had to figure it out so my kids can too. It's like, wow, and your father in heaven wants you to succeed, right? So you want to make sure that you impart not just a chunk of money to your family. That's not what a true legacy is. It's more than money. It's about your faith, right? The wisdom that you've learned along the way. And that includes financial wisdom. You should be teaching
Mhm.
your children this as early as kindergarten. You should be teaching them about money.